Guys, it is I, Fish Awesome Battles here. Today we're going to be doing one from Super Mario Nick. Every SML character's biggest enemy. Honestly, I never really thought about this. I was in like, I guess, Jeffy and Nancy. I mean, Craig the Devil and, God, because, naturally. And, I guess Mario and Mr. Goodman. I mean, he's probably going to go more into depth. I'm just trying to get my opinions out there. But this is being recorded on July 21st. I did record two videos yesterday, which was the two SML ones. I don't know if I'm going to get these all out on the same day. Hopefully, I'm going to get them out today, the July 21st. But if you guys want to enjoy the video, please drop a like, subscribe channel as always. And original video links I've seen in the description below. Go check them out. Watch the original video. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Let's go.
Alright everybody, now in today's video we're going to be going over every major SML character's biggest enemy in SML. Now in today's video we're going to be going over characters like Brooklyn Guy, Cody, Jr., Jackie Chu, Marvin, Rose, Joseph, Jeffy, Chef Pee Pee, and last but not least, Goodman.
Okay. These two, okay, Marvin's biggest enemy is probably Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman's biggest enemy is probably either Marvin because he doesn't pay his house payments, or the government because, he doesn't like paying taxes. No one likes paying taxes, but for some reason, the people who have the most money don't like paying taxes. I wonder why. I would understand why someone on the lower class would not want to do that. Something about Reaganomics or something like that, which I heard a lot of memes that it didn't work so good because they gave a bunch of tax breaks to the rich people, gave them more breaks, which would have dwindled down to the lower class people. I think that's how it was made and all that, but I don't know. This is not a political channel. Go look up Reaganomics. I don't think I explained it completely good, or maybe I completely explained the wrong thing. Um, Jeffy's probably green beans. Brooklyn guy is probably, I don't know, Rose. I don't know. Joseph, probably the cops. Cody, I don't know. Probably Junior, Chef Pee Pee, I don't know. So let's just Jackie Chu's probably, I don't know. Let me just continue on with the video and just see what he says.
Now just so we're clear, I am not going to be including any enemies that are based off just one SML video, meaning that the
Okay.
beef or rivalry between two SML characters has to extend beyond just one video. It can't just be something that happens in one video and is never mentioned again. It has to be something that we at least know for an extended period of time is true. And with that being said, let's start with Brooklyn Guy. Now for Brooklyn Guy, it comes down to three major candidates to be his biggest enemy. The first one being Barbara Guy, the second one being Jonathan Guy, and the third one being, well, Does Bad Things Guy. Now, it is kind of crazy that all three of these candidates are his family members, and that's totally insane, but hey, that's just how it is in SML. Brooklyn Guy does not get along with his family at all. But so the first character that I would eliminate from the three would have to be Jonathan. I don't think that their beef is necessarily as big as it is between Barbara and Jonathan. Yes, they do hate each other, and yes, they have their bad moments, but I don't think it is all that. Now, between Barbara and Does Bad Things Guy, I think I'm 100% gonna take Does Bad Things Guy, and I'll explain why. Now, for those of you...
Okay, I would say he's mentioned how he doesn't like his mom that much. I guess I wouldn't say his ex-wife wouldn't necessarily be beef per se, because obviously he doesn't have to deal with her all the time anymore, because, divorce and all that. I guess unless, Penelope has to go over there, which that could be a good SML video, by the way, Logan. Getting Penelope's perspective, from her mom, which is Brooklyn Guy's ex-wife. She hangs out with her, my bad, because Brooklyn Guy's too busy in the day. Karen is doing something else, so that could be good, I guess. Ay, mi garganta, way. Probably should have drunk some water before I recorded this. It's too late now. Whatever. But Does Bad Things Guy, I wouldn't really say they... Okay, I know he's going to explain, obviously, but I want to give my input before I click play. I say to that is like, it kind of just got mentioned, and then, like, it just became a thing, It's kind of like the big race, like, he mentions it, has the big race. I don't remember who wins because that video was not really memorable. I didn't even remember that video until he showed a thumbnail of that. So I don't even know who won. I think it might have been the turtle, unironically. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it was just spontaneously. So I would have said either his ex-wife or the mom. But let's see what Nick has to say.
Who don't know, Does Bad Things Guy actually filled in for Brooklyn Guy between 2016 and 17 in the SML movie The Hitman, which appeared in 2016, all the way up until The Secret Door, which appeared in 2017. Now, during this time period, Brooklyn Guy was actually gone on vacation, and Does Bad Things Guy was set to replace him for that time
I guess
period.
so, yeah.
Now, what Brooklyn Guy didn't know was that Does Bad Things Guy was not only going to try and kill one of his friends, Mario, but also that Does Bad Things Guy would damage his reputation.
Obviously, when I watched The Secret Door, he said, like, this and that, like, I've been doing this for a set amount of time. I haven't been, like, Broken Guys hasn't been in the picture since so. I never actually knew it, like, canonically within, like, episodes. So it's between The Hitman, which is Apartment Era, than that one. So, yeah. And obviously, like, I don't look in the description saying, like, what videos come in which order. So, like, if you show me a video, like I can narrow it down to like apartment era, old house era, new house era, plushy new house era, or whatever. So, that's all I got right there.
As a police officer, doctor, and everything in between. And in The Secret Door 2,
Yeah.
Marvin is forced to decide between shooting Brooklyn Guy or Does Bad Things Guy, who both look identical. And it's very difficult for Marvin to choose, but it seems as though he shot the wrong one and that Brooklyn Guy is actually dead and Does.
Yeah, which when are we gonna get the episode for that? Like like SML movie, Marvin finds out the truth, and it has like Brooklyn guy and the two Brooklyn guys in the thumbnail or whatnot. He finds out the truth. That would be a good SML title. Because it's very vague, but the thumbnail really shows it. Because yeah, it really does. It shows like, hey, he finally finds out the truth. The title is vague enough, and like the thumbnail shows like, ooh, this could be an actual good SML movie. So Marvin finds out the truth. What he did and all that. Because he starts to catch up and put things together. And he starts recalling like memories that Brooklyn guy should obviously know because it happened very recently, or he, happened before like the Secret Door or whatnot, Secret Door 2. So
Bad Things Guy is now replacing him. And if that really is the case,
and also, I don't think we need a Secret Door 3, which would be appreciated, but I think I like my idea a little bit more in terms of title and like execution, because like I don't think we really need an extra Secret Door, because like for the Marvin finds out the truth, he puts the details together. Some things are not aligning up. So and so. Jeffy helps him out, puts it together. They do context clues, asking him simple questions that like Broken Guy should 100% know. Recalling events that they did together, this and that, you know. Yeah, and then he puts it together. Then like he tries to figure it out and all that. Then he calls like I don't know God or Craig the Devil or something. Asks where Brooklyn guy is or whatnot, how they can bring him back, this and that. That would be kind of cool. Or trying to find the genie lamp again. Promise the genie like, hey, give us a wish and we promise to wish you free afterwards. But obviously they probably wouldn't because yeah.
That would be a terrible, terrible way to go down in SML, and I would completely hate Does Bad Things Guy forever if I was Brooklyn Guy. Now, Cody doesn't usually have a lot of beef in SML, but when he does,
it's gonna be, I was gonna say the H word, but yeah, Harry. Yeah, that's totally what I meant by the H word. Oh, and that's Mikey. So Harry, I haven't seen a video with Harry in it in a hot minute. So much so I kind of forget he's a character. Cause like he just filled in when Cody wasn't there, cause COVID rules and all that. Obviously, states are different in terms of health codes and all that. Like I remember. Okay, look, let me tell a story. All right, I know it's not related, but it's COVID related. But like, I was in middle school when COVID. Well, I was actually in elementary school when it first hit in spring. So then I was in middle school, like the next year. Anyway, Zoom calls, and I feel like I'm the reason why they had to solve this problem. But like each time I would join the Zoom call, like I would just blast music. Like it was just so funny, and they kept on kicking me out. I kept on rejoining, blasting more music, this and that. Now see, I was like, I wasn't even doing it for views or for a YouTube channel. I was just doing it for the fun of it, and and it's safe to say I got very much in trouble, and I actually got called up to the school, and I even said an insult that wasn't supposed to be an insult, but ended up being an insult. If that doesn't make sense, it imagine saying to like I don't know, imagine saying to a black guy like, and that's why you're white, Obviously that's not going to be an insult to the black guy because like, you're not white. And I said to a teacher, because you can only see to like right here, for my perspective was just her face, all of that. And sometimes you'll see her back up in a little bit and all that. You can see a little bit more of her body. Anyway, the teacher looked super skinny, so I called her fat. Not proud of that, but when I went up to the school, she said, "Why did you call me fat?" And yeah, I didn't know what to say because the insult wasn't supposed to make sense. It wasn't supposed to be an actual insult, but she ended up being, not to be rude, but it looks like she would need one of those scooters at the Walmart to get around. Not gonna lie, but yeah, let's continue on with the video. I don't know why I'm talking about all that.
It's pretty damn
Sorry,
memorable.
Super Mario Nick.
So
I
there are
rambled
really
on about
only
something
two
else.
major candidates that I could think of for.
I did not end up getting in
the
trouble.
The first one being
I did
Harry, and the second one being Mikey.
Because I acted oblivious to all of it.
Now, if we go back to the Cody Goes to Kindergarten series, yes, Mikey and Cody had a lot of beef. Yes, Mikey.
And sorry, last thing, if you're wondering what songs I was playing, it was Kodak Black, NBA YoungBoy. That's the only major ones I remember. And you know what's funny? They had like principal offices, like detention in Zoom calls. And you know what's funny? I would always see two people in those like detention like Zoom calls. Like, how does that make sense? Like, why did you join? Like, I get to like join so that you won't get called up to the school, because apparently if you Zoom bomb your own class like 20 times in like the same minute, oh yeah, they figured out how to wait. If you get kicked out of the class, of the Zoom class, you can't rejoin. They figured that out literally the next day, and I'm pretty sure that's because of me. But hey, I don't know.
Bit Cody's ear off. Yes, Mikey and Cody complained to Mrs. Fitzpatrick constantly
Last time
about
I'll
each
mention
other. But at the
about all
end
that.
of the day, I think that they did kind of squash their beef in the end.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily love each other, but I don't think they hate each other to the point that they did while in kindergarten. As for Harry and Cody, that beef still continues to this day. Now, for those of you who don't,
how does it continue to this day? Like, unless they make SML movie Harry, and it's like a thumbnail of like Mad Cody in the corner and like Junior and Joseph like hanging out with Harry to like make up for old times or whatnot. I don't know.
No, during the pandemic, there was a time when Pablo, the voice actor of Cody, was actually not allowed to film with the others like Logan, Lavelle, Lance, etc. because of the fact that there was a limit on how many people could be together within an indoor space. And since they would film indoors because of the pandemic, Pablo was literally not allowed to meet up with them and film. And so they ended up coming up with this new character to replace Cody for the time being called Harry. And so when Cody found out about Harry, that he was being replaced, it caused a lot of beef and caused Cody to be super jealous. So
this is like a beef I don't really think about until it's mentioned. Like I said, because I don't really think about Harry as an SML character anymore. It's kind of like, I guess, Tony the Tiger. Like, I've only seen one episode with Tony. Well, maybe 2 episodes. Well, technically 3 if you count like that dumb reference with the Frosted Flakes. Junior in the pantry was a Brooklyn guy, and he says, "Are those Frosted Flakes? They're great. Hey, get back here, Tony the Tiger." It's like something like that. But I think I've only seen him like that. It's kind of like, what I'm trying to say is like, I kind of forgot about Harry, and I haven't revisited SML movies that have Harry in it, because I don't know which ones have Harry in it and which ones don't. I just watch SML movies that I remember fondly, but I haven't gone back and seen the older ones in a hot minute because, I just haven't gotten time to.
The SML movie Cody Meets Harry, when the two finally met each other, Harry would constantly talk down on Cody, and Cody would constantly try and
What
get his
is that
position back
haircut?
in
I'm
the junior
sorry.
trio. And
It's
eventually,
literally like
Cody
a
was
taco
successful, and he
mohawk
took his
thing.
position back, leaving Harry to get booted out. And Harry had some choice words for Cody at the end of the video. Now we're going to move on to Junior. Now, Junior's top 3 candidates are not who you are expecting. I know that you're going to think Chef Pee.
So we have his ex-girlfriend, officially ex-girlfriend, as the recording of this video, because I'm pretty sure they ended that junk. But um, Junior's ex, I forgot her name, Douggee, which you know, this outline doesn't really do it, and yeah, it's Principal Steinbeck. Douggee, I don't understand. His ex-girlfriend, I do understand. Principal Steinbeck, in the very, very early days, I mean, he just doesn't like anyone in general. Like, he literally beat up Toad. And, like, you know, I'm just saying, like, he doesn't like anyone in general in terms of, like, you know, friendly and all that junk. And also, why is the vice principal always so much worse than, like, the actual principal? I've met, because, like, I've met vice principals, like, over my course of, like, you know, school or whatnot, and, like, it's always the principal that's more chill than the vice principal, like it is. I was gonna go on a rant about something else, but never mind. It's SML
He
related
should
right
be on
here
here, but
only.
he really shouldn't, because in the SML movie Chef Pee Pee Quits, I feel like they really did show their true colors towards each other, and that there is some sort of love between them at the end of the day. Now, the first of the 3 candidates I have is Annabelle, the second is Principal Steinbeck, and the last is Douggee. Yes, Douggee. Now, I'm going to choose to eliminate Annabelle first because...
Well, that's the one I was gonna say he was gonna choose, but let's see what he has to say. Douggee, I mean, if we're counting, okay. Now, see, I don't know how he's gonna do this for this one, so I want to state this out right here. If we're talking about Douggee and Black Yoshi, okay, I guess I can kind of see it. But if we're just talking about Douggee, like present day Douggee, it's kind of like Marvin and Mario, you know? Like Mario isn't connected to Marvin. Well, it is, technically. And Marvin isn't really connected to Mario, technically. I mean, there's the whole video. Whatever. But, like, because I remember Black Yoshi, like, getting blackmailed, I think it was called. I don't know. It was like I don't know what the actual video was called, but it was like trying to get Call of Duty. He did whatever Junior said, and then Junior said, can you wipe me?" And yeah, he just pulled out the good Second Amendment and just bop bop bop.
because I don't think that their beef is still going on to this day. I think that after the school dance, Junior and Annabelle went their separate ways, and I don't think that they necessarily hate each other anymore after Junior got everything off
Oh,
his
so it has
chest.
to be
And between
continuous
Principal
beef.
Steinbeck and
Okay, I thought it
Douggee,
was okay.
Dougie's
Never mind.
beef happened way earlier in SML, you know, back when Junior was a kid and he got babysitted by Douggee.
Oh
But
yeah, I
at the
forgot
end of
about
the
that
day,
one.
I'm going to take Principal Steinbeck because of the
How?
longevity of their beef. Man, there is no beef quite like Junior and Principal Steinbeck, going all the way back from the first ever summer school series where Principal...
And how come? How come Black Yoshi was in the same grade slash class as a Junior, even though he's like I don't know when. I do not know when his birthday is or what year he was, but he's obviously clearly an adult. I would say Black Yoshi is like mid 30s, probably 35. So what? This is like 10 years ago. So he would have been like what, 25 at the time. So you know, mm,
Steinbeck and Junior both hated each other very
little
much.
little
And Principal Steinbeck was
thing I wanted to
forced to
mention,
pass
but whatever.
Junior, even though he knew he was cheating because he eventually killed the fly. And yeah, that beef continues all the way until this day, making it one of the most iconic in SML. Now, staying on the theme of school, let's talk about Jackie Chu, which is by far one of the most...
By iconic beefs, I don't really. Now, see, he's really, really digging because, like, I've never thought about this really, other than like the most obvious one, Mario to Goodman, Goodman to I guess Mario, I guess, um, Junior and Baymax. Well, he just said that, but whatever. I mean, he's okay. That I feel like that he could at least add that as like an honorable mention. Like, obviously, it has to be a real character, whatever. But you know, like for these types of videos, like when I read the title, I only think like, oh, Mario and Goodman and all that. More obvious ones. Obviously, I guess Chef Pee Pee doesn't really count either. Or Chef Pee Pee and Braxton, I guess. 'Cause, you know, all that. So yeah. All right, let's continue on with the video.
Fun ones of the video because Jackie Chu mainly appears in school videos, meaning that his three biggest enemies would all be his students. So the first one is Bully, the second one is
eliminated.
Jeffy, and the third candidate is Junior.
Eliminated.
Now, when I
so
think
it's
of who
Jeffy.
Jackie Chu hates the most, I think at who he yells at the most in the classroom, and that's not gonna be Bully. So it comes down to Jeffy or Junior. And Junior actually did some good for him. He killed the Fly back in the summer school series and avenged his grandfather. Meanwhile, Jeffy did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Jeffy, no brainer.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Marvin, and the three characters that I think Marvin really hates are.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be. Well, it's obviously gonna be Goodman. Then Super D. Then Black Yoshi. Black Yoshi's kind of like a nuisance to him, not really an enemy slash beef, really. Super D, I can see it, but it's not as frequent as Mr. Goodman. So Mr. Goodman takes it by default.
Mr. Goodman, Super D, and of course Douggee, his second appearance of the video. Now, with that being said, I am going to eliminate Douggee because at the end of the day, they're technically friends. Even though I know Marvin doesn't like him because he just leeches off of Marvin, but they are considered friends, I guess. Now, between Goodman and Super D, it is definitely going to have to go to Goodman because there is not anybody quite like Mr. Goodman when it comes to hating the fuck out of Marvin. Goodman has started.
I can't say that. It's going to sound so wrong out of context. I'm going to play some pickleball with your... I'm pretty sure he said that one time. And I'm pretty sure he went through on one of his threats, like, put your little... I think he said, put your little dill pickle on the sandwich, and then he bit the sandwich. I don't know what episode that is, but someone knows what episode that is.
To cut Marvin's balls off with scissors. Goodman has threatened to bite Marvin's balls off. Goodman has threatened to cut Marvin's balls off with fucking pliers. This guy hates Marvin, and Marvin completely hates him. Now let's talk about Marvin's wife, Rose. Now, Rose doesn't really talk to a lot of characters besides Marvin and Jeffy, so she doesn't really get into a lot of beef.
Right.
So the only two characters I can really think of are...
No! You... Okay, does bad thing guy. I mean, other than like that, what the 2 times from Secret Door, I guess, and like Brooklyn guy. I mean, I wouldn't really consider it beef. I would just consider it like, hey, I don't really like you like that. I mean, it's like when I don't like somebody, it's like, or I wouldn't even really say like. I wouldn't say dislike. I would say I find you annoying. Like most people I don't like, I either find annoying or like very infuriating, what? Ignorant. I can't say the word. I don't. You know what I'm trying to say.
Brooklyn guy.
I can't say the word right now.
Guy. Now, Does Bad Things guy, he did threaten to kill Jeffy and did threaten to kill Marvin. But again, I think it's one-sided, and I don't think that beef is particularly personal between them specifically. Now, as for Brooklyn guy, I'm going to take him because that beef is personal, man. They hate each other.
No.
Brooklyn guy doesn't necessarily like her as a person, and Rose really doesn't like him as a person. I mean, they constantly talk.
Why is your friend acting like a whiny little... I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I said, why is your friend acting like a whiny little... Obviously, I don't cuss, so obviously I'm not going to say the word, so...
Shit about each other every single time they're on that damn red couch. And I think it's a no-brainer. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Brooklyn guy. Now let's talk about Joseph, his friend from school. Now, Joseph's 3 hated characters are going to be Douggee.
Nah, Douggee, I don't really see how it's... Well, yeah, I guess back in the Call of Duty days, he was the other character who was going against Black Yoshi in the Black Ops or whatnot, or Call of Duty in general. Tyrone, I don't really see it. Ken, I can't. So it's Tyrone's out of the picture. Black Yoshi, because like I guess if we're including Black Yoshi, it's Douggee. It's in the running. Ken, he doesn't really argue back, so it's not really beef per se. Just like I'm tired of Cody talking on your behalf or whatnot. But whatever.
His third appearance of the
I'm
video,
gonna go with
Tyrone,
Ken.
and last but not least, Ken.
Sorry, I'm
now,
talking too
between the
much.
three, I'm gonna eliminate Ken just because of the
Wow.
fact that I think it's more so the hatred he has towards Cody calling Ken a person.
I mean, that's what I was saying, but I thought Ken would still be in the running, but that is my opinion. Anyway, Joseph's mom could also be on the list. What? Oh, because it said, hey, yo, you see that milk? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into the milk aisle real quick. I'll be right back. 18 years later.
Rather than actually Ken itself. I mean, Ken really hasn't done much to Joseph specifically.
And also, I've heard that Joseph's mom was actually in SML videos before, like, she dipped on Joseph. Like as an actual character. But, like, I can't find any. Can someone tell me, like, an SML movie where Joseph's mom is actually in the video? Not like, and I don't mean like when they got revealed that she wasn't dead or anything like that, or Joseph the Millionaire, or Rich Joseph, or whatever it was called. I mean, like, before they canonically said, hey, she's dead, or hey, she abandoned me, or whatnot. Like, can someone tell me that? Because, like, I heard that, but I don't know if that's true or not, so.
Specifically, especially as a doll, like he hasn't done anything to Joseph, so I think that's fair. Now, as for Tyrone and Douggee, the reason Tyrone was put on this list was because every single time Joseph would go to Cody's house, Judith and Tyrone would make Joseph want to leave every single time. And also in the SML movie King Joseph, Tyrone literally set up a whole scam to bring up this poor kid's dream of being a king of Eswatini just to get completely fucking crushed, man. I would hate that guy forever, but it does not compare to Douggee, and that's why I'm
surprised Logan even knows about Eswatini. I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy beef with Joseph back in the day.
It used to be called Swaziland.
Now, Black Yoshi, aka Douggee, and Joseph would have beef on Call of Duty all the time. They would be like each other's #1 enemy. They'd
see,
like
that's what I'm talking about. See, I know Ball.
Go band for band in Call of Duty. But
I know
Black
Ball.
Yoshi was always that slight bit better than Joseph. So Joseph decided to get this rat to go into Black Yoshi's house and start chewing on his wires so that he would not have the electricity to be able to play Call of Duty. And what Black Yoshi decided to do in the SML movie Call of Duty Blackout, he would literally go up to Joseph and just fucking shoot him after he hired that rat. And that was the end of that. So I think it's a pretty fair beef to say. Now let's go over Jeffy. This is a very...
So wait, hold up. I kind of zoned out for a quick second. Hold on. So I'm assuming it's Black Yoshi that got it for the beef and all that, whatever.
Interesting one, because obviously Jeffy
you
has
got
a
Jeffy.
ton of beef with...
All right. Okay, look. I don't like how people say that Jeffy's real biological dad is a bad father. All right. We all seen that he got, you know, a particular word happened to him by something being put in his beverage, you know. So he did not really want that. He didn't know about Jeffy. Okay, you could argue that he did know about him because, like, you know, this and that and what she said, talking about 18 years or whatnot. Whatever. But, like, to say he's a bad father because what happened to him and this and that, like, buddy, he's not a bad dad. Like, bad mother, not a bad dad. He, like, come on, man. He was a victim of that. Literally. And like, the fact that Jeffy doesn't know that makes it even more infuriating. There we go, infuriating to me that he doesn't like him and all that. Granted, he ended up being a bad person, not necessarily like because he was a bad person, because the plot demanded it, but you know, whatever. So he's obviously out of the running. So it's obviously between Bully or Nancy. Like, this goes down like a long way, but this is like, so I'm probably gonna go Nancy.
A ton of characters, but it really does come down to 3. The first one, of course, being Bully Bill. How iconic. The second one being Nancy, and the third one being Jacques-Pierre Francois. Now, it is pretty sad to see both your parents up here, but between the two parents, I'm gonna have to eliminate Jacques-Pierre Francois. I think what Nancy did is like significantly worse than what Jacques did to Jeffy. The abuse was just on another level, so
what? Am I missing something here? Am I missing something here? Like, what in the world did Jock do? And you can't even say he abandoned him per se, because, like I said, he wouldn't really know about it, right? And like, he obviously would have dipped back. So even if he wanted to come back, you know, like let's say you're visiting a different country, right? That happens, this and that. You're not gonna remember what place you went to, especially if it was a long time ago. Even if you like, this and that. You're not going to remember the exact details to go find them and this and that. All right. So you can't even say like the abandonment thing, him reconnecting, and you should have said like, you know what, this happened to me, this and that. Hey, you know what, since you're here already, let's, try to make the best of this situation, this and that. But no, the plot said, you know what, we need a villain. We haven't made you a villain yet, because I guess both parents have to be a villain, so let's do that. Like, Nancy was just bad in general, like,
Gonna take
no
Nancy
redeemable parts.
And between Bully and Nancy, I think it's also a no-brainer. Even though he hates Bully and like wanted to injure him badly, he did not want to kill Bully. He wanted to kill Nancy. Jeffy did everything in his power to kill fucking Nancy. Every single
Beauty and the
thing,
Beast. I don't know why I'm showing it, but whatever.
Now, Chef Pee Pee is the hardest one of the video, in my opinion, because after the Chef Pee Pee Quits Part 7 episode,
it still has to be Braxton, to be honest, because, like, I don't really see any other beef, and you can't even really say, like, King Strongbottom, because he's technically a prince, he's technically royalty, but, like, King Strongbottom. And you know what's actually kind of funny? I always think, like, what happens to, like, descendants of, like, kings or emperors that, like, used to have, like, an empire, or used to be, like, part of, like, used to have their own kingdom, but they merged with, like, another of us other countries, kind of like, the former kings of, like, Bravania, or like the other, like, German states before the United, like after the Franco-Prussian War and all that. Hit you with some history knowledge right there. Anyway, yeah, I'm still gonna say Braxton. Like, who other than that? I guess you can't really say Junior either, I guess, by this logic. So who would it be then?
I really don't know who he hates anymore, because my original candidates would have been
Right.
Braxton and Junior, and these are still my candidates now, but I really don't know who Chef Pee Pee hates, because in that video he said that he doesn't necessarily hate them, but just the fact that he wanted respect from them. And so I don't know who he hates more. So I think I'm just gonna have to go with Braxton here. I just don't think that he necessarily hates Junior as much as he does Braxton in some way. I think that as Junior got older, he kind of respected him a little bit more, and I think it kind of got a little bit better. They would be able to talk more normally, I guess. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, this was a very tough one. And again, the same problem goes for Mr. Goodman, because Mr. Goodman has one very fucking obvious, clear enemy that's already been talked about in this video. There's only one candidate I have for him. I don't know a single character that Goodman hates more on the face of the earth than Marvin. I mean, the amount of times this guy misses his house payment. Hell, I get all the threats.
Yeah.
I understand. The brother does not pay you. He does not pay you any sort of house payment. He's skipped like the past 8 months. I don't know how you get your money other than to threaten him. I really don't. So I get it from Goodman's standpoint.
Right.
But at the same time, Goodman could obviously be a nicer person and could.
Like, at that point, like, if he's not paying you after months after months after months after months after months, like, the average landlord would say, you know what? This is your first time being late, this and that. You know what? Pay me it by next week or something like that. Or if you just tell him, hey, I'm a little, like, short on money. Let me pay you this little bit, and let me pay you the rest, like, on this date. And they would say, okay, thank you for telling me in advance. Like, the average person would, like, be like that, unless you have, like, just a bad landlord in general. But, yeah.
Be a little bit more forgiving.
But Marvin, I don't really feel sympathy.
Marvin is a little bit lackluster, that he just sits on the couch all day and doesn't get his house payment to him whatsoever. So
he doesn't even have a job.
Beef between these two. So let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nonetheless, if there's anything you guys agree with or disagree with in the comments below.
Hold on. Does it? Oh. Okay, can someone tell me how do you put my videos in different languages? Porque, tú sabes, yo puedo hablar el idioma de español. Yo digo estos muchas veces en mis videos. Pero tú sabes, yo quiero ponerlo en diferentes idiomas, como... porque yo quería como coreano, japonés, italiano, tú sabes, árabe. Well, no, eso no. Well, árabe is Arabic. Well, no, that's Arab, I'm pretty sure. Whatever. Um, but I just want to like put my videos in different languages. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I want to put it in Spanish though.
Un poco más indulgente. Pero al mismo tiempo, Marvin
Pero
es
al
un
mismo
poco
tiempo.
mediocre, se pasa el día sentado en el sofá y no le paga la cuota de la casa en absoluto. Así que sin duda entiendo el odio y la disputa entre estos dos. Bueno, dejadme saber qué pensáis del vídeo en los comentarios. Espero que hayáis disfrutado del vídeo. Si hay algo con lo que estéis de acuerdo en los comentarios, no olvidéis...
Ay, güey. Eso fue más o menos correcto porque tú sabes, unas partes no dijo nada porque no fue la original idioma de la video. Entonces, tú sabes, unas partes no va a decir exactamente que él dijo en inglés. Pero alguien que pueda hablar los dos idiomas de inglés y español, yo puedo decirlo más o menos más mejor de así. No voy a decir los mismos palabras exactamente, pero yo puedo decirlo como 90% la misma cosa en inglés y en español. Tú sabes, tú llegas, me hago en inglés y puedo decirlo en español más o menos lo mismo, tú sabes, como 90%. Voy a decir unas diferentes palabras, tú sabes, para hacerlo más fácil para la otra persona para entender en español. Más quería decir eso. Entonces voy a acabar de hablar en español en 3, 2 y 1. Hey, I'm back in English, boy. Anyway.
Below, be sure to comment that. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. And without further ado, I'll catch y'all in the next.
And for the one person that can speak Spanish or understand Spanish in the comments below, tell me who you are. Anyway, if tú encantaste la video, if tú encantaste la video, boy. Okay. Anyway, in English. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel as always. And I have a new SML battle short coming out as of recording this video. It comes out, it's July 21st, 12:59 Eastern Standard Time. And it's coming out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, as of recording this video, like I showed you the date. Yeah, that should be everything I should say. Entonces tú cantas I sound like one of those AI it's like when I say it like in the most generic voice ever, like I feel like I sound like one of those AI things that are like translating into a different language, but like it sounds way more better. It's kinda like Netflix like dubs. Like sometimes Netflix dubs sounds like very, I wouldn't say robotic, but very abnormal, I guess. It's like someone talking like this. Like, why am I just talking like this? Like, no one really talks like this. Like, people don't really talk like that. They talk like more of like a monotone voice like this. But if you talk like this, it sounds like you're kind of forcing yourself to talk like this in terms of sentences like that. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you guys excuse me, I gotta watch some Peak right here. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna watch that. But if you guys actually enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel as always. Without further ado, it's the Fish Westmo Battle signing off.